5 seconds remaining. Virtus Pro's turn to ban. Team Secret's turn to ban. Virtus Pro's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining.
Eh, 队友呢？队友嘞？哎，队友呢？队友呢？队，哎，队友呢？队友嘞？哎，队友呢？队友呢？队友呢？哎，队友呢？队友嘞？哎，队友呢？队友呢？队友呢？
Thank God for the chat wheel, right? Wheel, right?
That's RTK right there.
That's my. I actually think that.
Do you know?
Roger likes it. Roger's just a happy.
Yeah,
I mean, they've been all.
he reminds me of
they've been all about
GH.
the kiss.
Yeah,
Yeah,
oh,
he
yeah.
does. He does.
Like not just like from the personality, he's always happy, he's always smiling.
There you go. That's
Yeah.
my favorite.
No, this is gonna be a really
No.
exciting match.
That one is overused.
Oh, I like it though.
Do you on that
This
is
sounds
way
cool.
better.
No, it's way-
Yeah, I like Do you on that.
So we have a pause.
It's a pause, yeah.
Yeah. You guys were talking earlier about the distinction between Roger and Yapsor, and one of the big
Team
distinctions for
Secret's
me is
turn
that
to ban.
Roger's
Virtus
heroes
Pro's
almost
turn to
always
ban.
taken first two by VP, if not first three, whereas Yapsor's had several games, including in the last series where he actually gets last pick.
Team Secret's turn to ban.
Look at those bands.
Deuce.
Yeah, that's all about, okay, you know what,
We
Secret?
just watched you.
Yeah, we just watched you. And I like this about VP is that a lot of their drafting is look, we're just going to make you do something different.
Yeah. I mean, if you just saw them play this and do so fantastic with it, getting rid of these pushing cores, the lone druid, the Lycan is always great. And I don't know, Zeus for me is a hero that
10 seconds
I think
remaining.
is very, very powerful right now.
So
Yeah. I've heard someone on this
5
panel
seconds
played
remaining.
Zeus Pups
Oh, yeah.
and claims he's unbeatable when
Virtus
playing it.
Pro's
I got
turn
3
to
for 3,
ban.
man.
the night. Okay, the
Three for three
night.
right
The
now.
Night
There's some
Stalker
great
is in
games.
the pool.
Night Stalker's in the pool.
The Bane is in the pool.
I think
And
one
so
important thing is there's not a lot of pushing cores left.
Yes.
So DK, DP is probably going to come out eventually in this draft. If they're not getting banned.
Do they first pick the Bane? And,
Do they first
and then
pick the
Secret
Bane?
will probably respond with them.
Oh, I think it's been a while. Looking back through the drafts, it's been a while since NS was on the boards for
It's been
VP with
Bane
first pick.
every
Yeah,
single time,
yeah.
right?
Bane.
Okay, they're going to take Bane instead.
Does it-
Secret takes what? Night Stalker Rubik?
I hope so.
Possible? Puppy Stalker then. He
Yeah,
always plays it.
Although
But then they can
remember,
switch it.
it's been very
Yeah.
unusual for either of these two teams to open two support. At
But
least
then Night Stalker doesn't have to be support.
That's
that can
true,
Be fodder.
that's true.
We've seen it carry for Pycat Optic as well. Like, I
Okay.
think the hero can be ran in several different positions.
10 seconds
yeah, you're right. I think
remaining.
it's all right. I'm down. I'm down. I think there's enough flux value between those two
5
heroes.
seconds remaining.
Maybe they don't want to maybe they want to keep the Rubik hidden
Team
though.
Secret's turn to
Yeah,
pick.
but
Skywrath Mage.
okay, Scott.
Okay.
Gyroth Mage.
Oh,
Puppy and Yapsa both play that.
and
Virtus
do you
Pro's
take the axe?
turn to pick.
Leave the Night Stalker.
I know
The
you guys
Emperor?
gotta
Oh
leave it.
my goodness.
I actually thought that was the response to Kunkka because they picked against Kunkka last game,
Yeah.
but it's just like their opening, I suppose.
I think
I
they
don't
really
know.
like Ember Spirit right now.
I mean, Ember Sky is a very strong combo anyway. You shackle them from really far away, and then you just blow them up with the
It's
Mystic
mid
Flare.
one. Mid one, I think, for the last year, after Poor Man's Shield was killed, he was trying to make this hero
Yeah,
work
yes.
desperately,
10 remaining.
and he just couldn't. And now he's seeing that there's a way to play this hero again.
Now he goes safe
So he's
lane.
happy.
5 seconds
And-
remaining.
The lane is still very, very terrible.
Still though, that last game was
It was
hardly
rough.
yeah, exactly. That was not a showcase for the Ember Spirit. That was an Ember Spirit building first item Aeon disc.
But it's a hero that this hero has so many different various builds that you can go right now, and it's a hero that scales throughout the entire game. You can even go to late game. You can do this explosive magic damage build. You can go for the physical build, which doesn't so right now, but
To be fair, last game, even though he had Aeon this first, in a lot of those team fights, he actually dealt the second most damage in his team.
Virtus
Just behind
Pro's
the Lycan, I
turn to
believe.
ban.
They take the Night
Yeah.
Stalker.
No. Not surprised.
Scary.
I don't know
Ember-
that
Ember
you
is
can
very
give
afraid.
VP.
Ember is very afraid.
Yeah.
Team
You gotta-
Secrets turn to bad.
Quick.
Gotta go for the Yules.
I mean, both of these heroes are a threat to both of the heroes on the secret side.
Isn't he
Yeah.
just going to build Aeon this,
If he goes 0-4.
right? Like, I think it could be a chance versus
But-
Bane
I mean,
and as well as
it's
Night
a
but the
4K
thing is-
item though.
They just did it. But the way that they use it, they're going to have this, right? They're going to have this Skywrath farming. This is going to be
Yeah.
Yapsor probably playing. He's
10
going to be getting a
seconds
lot of items.
remaining.
They're going to be playing around just searing chain somebody for 3 seconds in a fight once he gets that
5
15.
seconds
Kill them
remaining.
inside his.
But the problem is, if you go Aeon this first against the Night Stalker, his silence is like, what, 12 seconds cooldown? So after it pops,
It's
you are
true.
very, very afraid. So I definitely want to see the Yules on him.
Okay. Yeah.
So with
I like that.
with the Axe and the
Virtus
Beastmaster already
turn
off the
to
board,
bat.
what's going to be the Fata lane combination to go with the Skywrath? They have run Skywrath Underlord.
Spoke
This
about it.
tournament.
Magnus. Not a thing? You don't seem
I
impressed?
don't know. If there's a team that's going to pick it.
I don't think it puts as much pressure.
It doesn't. Well, then again, Shockwave plus
Shockwave hurts.
Bolt.
They've also run
Can
Skywrath
pressure-
Brewmaster.
Brewmaster is
10
good.
seconds remaining.
I don't like it against a lot of silences though. If you ever get silenced in a team fight, you are
5 seconds
scared.
remaining.
I mean, it can work. I just want to see a mech. Like a 4-man RP with some good sleight of fist. Hello there.
We're not going to see a Brood. Who decides that they don't want any of that kind of shit. Okay.
Yeah, the Ramses Brew is very scary.
Best brood.
Probably the best brew in the
Easily,
tournament right now.
easily in the world.
I would say Matumba for a while, but Ramses took him over, I believe.
Team Secrets turn to bad.
Doom
That's
Bringer.
it.
Yeah.
Skyrath. the
Pressure,
last one.
dude.
They
Yeah.
literally just take out all the pressure heroes for Skyrath to duel.
Neither team has any objective takers right now at all. They can't do Roche, they can't do any towers. They just have 4 killers.
We saw this coming though, right? When we
Yeah.
saw Beastmaster ban, Lone Druid ban, Lightning ban, objectives are going to be really hard to take.
So maybe, just maybe, we'll see the Ace Clinks this game
10 seconds remaining.
with the push out of the Ember Spirit. Okay, Clinks' biggest weakness,
5
honestly, for me.
seconds
We
remaining.
can talk about items and everything, but push out. If you don't push out lanes,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Clinks
you got
can't do
no
anything.
shove. No shove.
pushing out lanes. A lot of people complain when you play pubs, well, Clinks, why are you so useless? Because you're not pushing out the lanes, sir. That's the
we're
correct
We're
answer.
stuck on our side of the map. I can't go hunt. I can't be my hero. Right?
Exactly. And then they say, "Ooh, okay, sorry." And they should be
No,
sorry.
They
Do
don't,
they?
don't say that.
They don't say sorry, but they think it.
They go
Oh, you-
reported for picking Clinks.
You know what? You know what else is left in the pool? Puppy's Bounty Hunter is still in the pool.
They've strayed away from that.
They have gone away from it, but the numbers on it are actually disgusting.
Been to Bane Night Stalker though.
Yeah,
Right? Like,
yeah.
These two powerhouse heroes in the laning phase.
Yeah, you're gonna
Yeah.
have to be able to fight.
Night Stalker,
think,
not like him. First nighttime destroys the bounty hunter. You see him, you dust him, he's dead every time. I don't like that
10
pick.
seconds remaining.
What do
What
we
about
like
something
though?
like what about something like an Abaddon for
5
Fada?
seconds remaining.
You can cleanse the silence in the Fiend script.
Can work. Can work.
Hasn't been popular here at all, is it?
Hmm.
I mean, I'm still expecting to go back to one of those.
But it's a fat A special. Underlord is
The
pretty
Underlord,
good too.
Yeah, Underlord or Brewmaster.
Underlord, Brewmaster. Just a tanky guy. Fata always plays tanky guy. Tidehunter
Oh, yeah.
even.
Well, I mean, that's he was playing that style of Dota when he was still a mid, right?
Yeah, just pick DK and Razor every
Yeah.
game. He picked
Play
DK
Troll
before it was cool.
Pick Troll and get him back.
Do you remember Mech Invoker?
Yeah, connect
Virtus
to
Pros
The Ice
turn to
3 special.
Oh my.
Bloodseeker.
Okay.
Carry Bloodseeker.
It's, you know what? I love this hero with the Skywrath Mage because even though they're not in the same lane, Skywrath's going to be spamming those side lanes, and every time he gets those Arcane Bolt spams off, that's huge damage bonuses for Bloodseeker.
In the midst of a team fight, if Skyrath can actually distance himself, you have Blood Rage on
10
your Skyrath,
seconds remaining.
Oh my
taking
god.
over the fight.
But this also
But he also-
indicates
yeah.
an aggressive
5
off
seconds
laner.
remaining.
Because you always want to harass the opponents when you have Bloodseeker. Always want to keep them like half health.
15 games on the Bloodseeker at the Super Major, and he's won 80%.
80.
80.
Oh, yes.
0.
How many games?
15.
That's, yes. Bloodseeker is disgusting. 12-3.
You good? I still think a lot of people don't know how to play against it properly though.
Yeah, I think
That's a big issue.
Yeah, I
know.
think the problem is, right, it's not so much how you lane against it 1v1, it's how you have to play the side lanes. Like the meta over the last 2 or 3 months in the side lanes has developed into this, where both the supports are just running at each other constantly, And every time you do that now, you're feeding the Bloodseeker damage in his lane.
It's not only that, like, do you remember the Bloodseeker like patch where everyone just first picked Bloodseeker for a very long time? Everybody knew how to play with it and against it. Right now, people don't know the damage it deals or it takes when you have that buff on.
Okay, so that's that can allow them to take approach here. That's very different.
All single target though.
Yeah.
No AoE at all, no lane push at all.
Their team fight is pretty weak.
Pretty
Actually,
weak,
team fight's
yeah.
pretty weak on.
Yeah.
No.
Their pickoff is really strong though. And of course, amp damage. Well, used to be really good against Bloodseeker, but now he gets a plate mail level 10.
Are they gonna get like healer potentially last? Or for
On VP?
5
Possible,
seconds
but then
remaining.
Looks good versus Ember and Sky.
Then no one needs to be on a very strong lane shove hero.
Yeah.
Or there won't be any opportunities. What are we looking for? A secret. But they got 2 cores already.
Can have a Jig hero here.
Yeah. They could, but they don't want to save often for last, right? Usually they take Jab Source hero last or mid ones. But mid ones is already shown.
What
Yeah.
about
They
what
need their
about Dying?
5. Yeah, Dying looks really
Right.
good.
Again,
it's
it lets
just-
them just have they like win team fights then.
Oh, but then Undying
awkward.
Skywrath,
Little
5
awkward.
position Skywrath.
It's quite good though with the
No,
Bloodseeker,
it's
right?
like 5 Undying.
5 Undying. Oh, of
Winter
course.
Wyvern.
Oh wow.
Didn't expect that, so it is
Okay.
the offlane last
Yeah,
pick.
So what's the theory behind that?
Well,
That was
it's
about to
good
do
against the
fine,
Slaughter.
Explosive haze, yeah.
I think they're expecting a lifestealer actually, and Winter Wyvern completely shuts the combo down, so they can go for the lifestealer, but it's not.
Yep.
I wouldn't advise
I
it.
agree. Yeah. Exactly why.
10 seconds remaining.
Honestly, it just kind of counters the hero 1-to-1, right? You amp a guy, want to burst him, and just embrace him.
You embrace
Okay.
him, or like, even if they go for that fast, you just
And
curse
this
whoever,
is
whoever, and
the
the lifestealer is gonna have to.
Are you worried at
pop
all,
out.
guys, about this single target focus? They've got nothing. AoE here.
Well, Lina gives you AoE.
Lina gives-
apart from Lina.
And
Yeah.
Lina can shove waves. Why I like Lina really like a lot here is right now it beats both Ember and Bloodseeker on lane.
Well,
I
does
think-
it though?
10 seconds
That's the thing.
remaining.
Remember when Secret last picked Bloods, the time that Secret picked
5
Bloodseeker in this
seconds
tournament, it was
remaining.
against Optic and CC's Lina, and they broke even mid.
He went stun level.
Okay, yeah, fair
He
enough.
missed
fair
like
enough.
his first 4 stuns. If he'd actually connected with those, I think he would.
I think how you
But
play
that's
the
not
lane,
the
right?
only example of that
Yeah.
lane that we've seen, and it's not been as
In-
favorable to the lane as I
In
expected.
theory, though, it is a Lina favored.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
double nukes.
It's just you
Very hard.
nuke him and you right click him, and he takes like 80 plus damage every right click when
Yeah.
he puts the buff on him. It's just it's possible to play, but you can't make any mistakes with Bloodseeker.
Do you think
You
that the
just
like Wyvern
rose,
Skywrath
turn to
spam, they're
back.
gonna have the spam from the Wyvern, the spam from the Skywrath to give that thirst. The Bloodseeker might be able to actually deal with it, but
I'm actually kind of surprised they banned the Spectre. I think this.
Yeah.
You know, even with the Winter Wyvern on board, I still think this is disgusting list.
It is possible. It just
I mean, that cooldown on Winter's Curse is pretty darn long.
sure, but
10
it's the
seconds
embrace that
remaining.
really counters it.
Yeah,
it's
that's
not
true.
really the
That's
Winter's
true.
ult, and then you get like silence. You're quite
5
danger.
seconds
You're
remaining.
quite
That's a
scared of
good
that,
point.
and then the Rupture as well. Like it works, of course.
has Wyvern won here? I think I saw Wyvern lose.
0-2,
0-2, I think it was.
maybe 0-1.
0-1.
I think I only saw one,
Rose, turn to pick.
but I'm fairly certain it lost.
It is
It was
0-2.
2 and it's
0-2.
lost 2.
0-2.
I hate playing against Winter as a carry. Like, there's nothing that's
Well, you play,
amazing,
yeah,
you
you
know?
play all right-click carries though.
Yeah,
Right?
it's like there's nothing amazing as a carry against the Winter.
Okay, well, do you, as first pro, you didn't turn back for like a Luna? Because you do now. You do that does then give you the magic.
I mean,
10
Luna is
seconds
good.
remaining.
Definitely good as a hybrid.
Yeah.
Against the Winter, I always want to have a hybrid
5
that deals magic
seconds
as well as
remaining.
physical damage in the mid-later portions of the game.
What a death prophet.
DP can work. Ramses DP is very strong.
Safe
Lina
lane.
can become a hard carry late game, especially with Slaughter. It's a disgusting combo. You
Right,
hit
they've
so
got the-
hard.
That's what I was thinking. The combo.
What are they missing in this thing?
I still think kind of like a tower pusher. So
Yeah, that's
DP,
what I wanted.
DP,
Yeah, that's-
DK.
That's why I like the
I was
Luna.
thinking death prophet or death prophet Luna.
Team
DK can work too.
secrets, turn to pick.
Medusa.
Oh
That
my.
can work
That's
too.
different.
Because you just sit back and chill. 'Cause
It's
That's
Wow.
it's playing to win, baby. I wonder who said that. Secret or VP?
that sounds like
It's a really good draft though because right now they can't challenge them at all late game and they have no objective taking at all. The game will be slow.
yeah.
Like no matter what, it will be
5
slow.
seconds
Unless they put like
remaining.
an Abaddon now and completely
they-
pressure them into their
Are they
side.
gonna? Do they need to move this? Is this Bloodseeker then a Fata hero, and we're gonna
Could
need
be.
an Ace hero that counters the Medusa?
What
Feel
would
like
that be?
Could this be like a,
Phantom
Weaver,
Lancer.
a Weaver game?
I think PL would be really good if they wanted to switch.
PL, yeah, okay, okay.
They don't have a lot of time.
Kill Dusa can kill you one.
Gotta go for the Mirana.
Oh, wow.
That could be. That's Fada.
Fada Mirana.
Just
yeah.
Fada Mirana? I want to see who
Oh,
picks
come
what.
on, yeah. Stay with the screen for a minute.
Yeah, don't ditch. Pick faster, guys.
It's more than likely Fada Marana.
I would think so.
Mid one,
They're gonna
okay.
tease
Come on.
us.
There's
They're gonna
the
tease
last,
us.
got
come
the three.
on.
It's the one that we cared about. Come on.
Oh,
Yeah, they're
all
not gonna
right, they're not gonna do it. So,
okay. All right. Well, that makes things easier or harder. I don't know. The good news is I don't have to make those decisions. You
Yeah.
guys do. In terms of Twitter, they're saying 78-22 right now in favor of Virtus Pro. It's a lot higher than the previous match. Probably a lot. Alan, what do you think?
unfortunately, I think they've got the right idea. I just don't see who's going
10
to kill this
seconds
Medusa one.
remaining.
Gotta go VP.
Yeah, my problem is that they have
5
like
seconds
no
remaining.
really aggro moves. They can get kills, but no objectives right after. And that's when Medusa is really one of the strongest heroes in the game. So I gotta go with VP as well.
I was gonna say I think if VP can stall this one out, they can win this. So I think Secret, they pretty much have to snowball all the kills, and
So hard
no
to do.
objective takers. I think it's gonna be tough for them down the two.
You know what happens late game, right? Split shot everyone like that.
Is that the split shot?
Yeah,
version?
Wow.
yeah, like
I
that.
thought you were
Okay,
snapping yourself.
If we can get the gift masters on that, that'll be great. All three go for Virtus Pro on the panel as far as they're concerned. This one's a done deal, but they don't get to decide. It's the teams, of course, who get to decide. Let's head into the arena with your commentary team for game number one. It's Cap and God.
The 4 remaining teams here at the Super Major are the top 4 teams on the DPC points gods, but I would have to say that looking at this, teams like Virtus Pro for most of the season have kind of been the #1 dog, and I would say Secret, they kind of capped out early, and I'm looking at them as like a #4 when it comes to it. So this matchup, it feels like it's going to be pretty heavily favored to VP.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, people walked in this DPC season expecting, a couple top teams to have like 5,000-6,000 points. VP, 10,000 points. Like, okay.
That's such an absurd number.
And that's before this event here, where they could just add like another 3,000 or 4,000 or something if they get first place. So very much the favorites coming to this one, and like Pal said, feels like their draft is a little bit favorable. Definitely a lot more options. Really good last pick Medusa. You called this one, Cap. Credits to that. What are you liking about the Medusa here?
Wait out the chat wheel.
Yep.
All right, now we can have a discussion. I love the Deuce because I think it beats both the matchups of the Ember Spirit as well as the Bloodseeker. And I think you had the
30
option
seconds
to be
to
able to run the lanes against that as well. I think I've seen Dusa versus Bloodseeker and it feels okay. Lina versus Ember Spirit or Bloodseeker would obviously be much better for the laning phase. And I think if you're VP, you already felt pretty comfortable with where your draft was at laning phase-wise. And you just needed a core that would outscale the rest of Secret. And I think that's why Secret banned away the Spectre, right? Is that that would be the big threat. Secret don't actually have the heroes to end the game very quickly.
We've seen most of VP's games and drafts go late game and always scale well. Like the series against LGD, I think they kind of fell off that a little bit. Also, they were against Nio, but we saw them have these good early starts, but they didn't have the strong late game to fall back on. And since that series, they've gone back to much more late game oriented play. And
Yeah, I think maybe in their head they thought they would be okay. Remember, they had the OD in the second game, and it just seemed like the Wisp was still too strong paired up with whoever it is. It also means it's one of the better safe laners at dealing with laning phase pressure, and we're going to see that here. The Mirana Sky is going to be matched into the Dusa lane. Up at top mid lane, we're going to see No One's Lina face up against Mid One's Ember Spirit, and in the safe lane, the Winter Wyvern and Bloodseeker paired up against the Pasha Slardar and the Solo Bane. So if you're expecting a core Night Stalker, that is not the case. It's been core Slardar.
Interesting little setup here. We see Puppy with the Orb of Venom first. He's going for that heavy harass to try and just support Ace anytime you can get people as low as possible. Bloodseeker's going to be looking pretty good. So same thing with Fata and Yapsa on their off lane. They know they've got this safe lane Bloodseeker. That lane's just going to be enabled by more and more harass happening in those other two lanes because of the Blood.
All the more important to have healing salves early. See, Ramsey's actually going to have like a good 50 damage taken away from his. Does not have the mana shield yet. He opted for the Mystic Snakes, so he is really feeling the pressure of that early level 1.
Tough lane for Medusa. Definitely one of her weak spots is the lane stage, often laned in mid, so you can get those early levels, because she gets tanky with levels. Points in Mystic Snake and Mana Shield are much needed, but safe lane in a dual lane, a little bit tougher to get what you want as a Medusa.
Okay, so our panel said look, this is going to be a hard game for Secret. Here's the way they can win. And they identified, look, you need to be able to have a draft that gives you a decent shot at being able to beat VP. And you also have to have strong lanes. You can't just get rolled over by the Virtus Plow in the first 10 minutes. It's looking like the laning phase is pretty good. Are we good with the draft as well? Do you think Secret actually gave themselves a winning chance here?
I think we'll be truly tested like around that 10 to 20 minute stage when Secret are going to feel pressured to make moves because they will not be able to scale late game against the Juicelina. Harass down bottom, they're getting low. This is where you need to pop those salvos against Bloodseeker, and the hard part of Secret is their initiation is really just the Ember Spirit. So your one initiator is in a core role. It's going to be a lot of pressure on mid one to have a good game.
See the threat there. Being able to have a
mid lane.
Oh, mid one. Lots of healing south. That
does not feel good, even though you live.
Yeah. He won't give away the first blood, but he's going to have to go back to base anyway. These people placed onto Ace is allowing them to actually do a lot of battle here. If they can get a couple more shots in, plus a brain tap, it's not going to be enough. Meanwhile, Fana actually goes to the dive in the top lane, managed to get the first blood there. Back over to bottom lane, they do manage to land the stun and finish off the Winter Wyvern, but Ace managed to get a healing salve off and is thinking about going for the kill onto Solo, but can't quite get them low enough. The Bane is just a bit too tanky and a little bit too hard to fight with that level 2 pickup of Enfeeble.
Yeah. Too many teams, I feel like part of the Bloodseeker is too many teams run away from him. You're running away from him when you're low, that's not a good plan. If he's blood raging himself and running at you, turn and fight. Throw a stun, throw a slow, and just hold your ground. He gets extra squishy, particularly in the lane stage before he gets items. And we've seen it a bit here in this bottom lane. Anytime they're trading hits a bit, anytime Ace uses Blood Rage on himself, instantly VP are just going to hold their ground, man up, and say, well, we actually do more damage to you than you deal to us.
And it's the nice little plays, right? They just TP back on the Bane. He didn't try and stick it out until 5 minutes when the Shrine was up. He didn't walk back to base. He just instantly TP'd from the middle of the lane just to make sure that Bloodseeker had less time. And now he's going to go for a smoke gank onto mid. See if he can set up an early kill onto no one. Passes over the bottle, hoping that it was outside of vision. The mid one won't pick up that it wasn't a courier delivery, but actually a support. Meanwhile, Pasha does end up going down to the bottom lane.
Yeah, Solo, his smoke wears off, so he's going to walk past an observer where they know of his presence in this mid lane. So, interesting little idea, delivering the bottle while smoked and trying to set up a gank, but it's not going to lead to much. And not sure whether Secret knew he was missing from the bottom lane or just saw a good opening, because good kill on Pasha. Finding that opening when the support is away, Solo's going to probably regret that rotation towards mid.
This last pick, Mirana, seems to be faring pretty well. 18 and 10 right now, CS, ahead of the Jusa at 17 and 3. The double ranged feels like quite the pain to deal with. And that hits the stun, finish off the Winter Wyvern, and they can do some damage on Ace as well. Mid lane, mid-watt, dropping low, does have level 1 flame guard that'll dodge a bit of damage, but it's mostly physical coming at him. The last nuke from no one overwhelms the flame guard. They pick up that kill, and now they can go for the dive on the Absol as well. Roger may be a bit low underneath the tower. They do have the Winter Wyvern TPing in. The VP gives up on that dive, but Ace, he's made his way over here with a slow and the Bloodright nuke. They're going to be able to easily take down this Lina. Ace goes on a killing spree, but it does force him to rotate out of his lane.
Yeah, it was pretty calculated from VP initially, knowing that those TPs are going to come in slowly. Puppey's TP very slow. What they did not calculate is that Ace was already nearby. Because he got low, he was at the Shrine area, so he wasn't in the bottom lane. A rotation like that, you just don't expect. You expect if Ace wants to go there, he's going to have to TP in, and not the case. And yeah, really nice solo kill from Bata. He is crushing it up top.
Speaking of crushing, Pasha hits the crush onto Ace after the Nightmare setup. Going to try and get in front of him here. Now that the sprint is worn out, he can go for the body block, but Ace just goes the other direction. Solo is going to get pretty close to low. Pasha has a sprint up, and he has a crush as well. Ace is just not going to be able to dupe this one out. He stays in vision, and together they bring down the Bloodseeker next to his tier 1 tower. Ramses is given as well, paying out some big dividend.
And recognizing which hero is most equipped to kind of counter gank and make these plays to kill Alina, it's fast as Mirana. Level 6 already, off to a fantastic start. He's the one that can actually help out turn that kill around, and Lina doesn't have any escapes or way of dealing with a Mirana once you get left on. You use your stun to initiate on the Ember. May as well go for this gank on mid lane and give Puppey a lane to play. And Winter Wyvern, a fairly level-dependent hero. You don't really rotate at all. You have no real ganking potential. Definitely one of the more farm-dependent 5s, partly why we don't see the hero all too much. And The movement from Fata helping enable Puppey to get to where he wants to be as a support.
Enables mid one as well, right? The matchup was already going to be a little bit unfavorable for him. You could see the CS there's a very wide difference between the Lina as well as the Bloodseeker. But now that we've picked up a couple of kills, we've gotten the level 6 on the Ember Spirit, like life is just a lot easier for him now. An arrow is going to come out. He slowed down Ramses, will not feel the bite. Be okay, 6-4 with just shy of a 1k gold lead for Secret.
Moving towards bottom with an invis rune on his Lina. Secret did know he had an invis. They're actually scanning mid, expecting him to be on the high ground here. Okay.
Since he's not there, they're going to go for the kill onto the Bane. Now, the Lina's going to wrap around a little bit late. This sleep does manage to dodge the blood right, which means he managed to get off for good of Blake. Finish him off mid-1. Now, Ace. He's going to be hit by the LSA as well. Roger will slow him down for the void. Turns around, gets off the rupture. It doesn't really matter, though. BP could just hang out next to the tower bottom lane. Ramsey's going to go behind the tower. Easily brought down by the big nuke. Pasha TP's in. Just a little bit too late to be able to protect him. Puppey protects himself with Cold Embrace, but he's going to be susceptible to another crush. And Pasha has it. Pasha tries to go for the dive. Starts throwing out. Nuke on the Bane. That'll spot. Now the Winter's Curse laid out onto the Slardar. Fata will die with the corrosive haze still on him, though. May have been able to save him from Pasha, but not from the tower.
See, both these teams have such a good understanding of how these rotations affect the game. Secret scan mid, and they're like, okay, he's not here invis, let's go for this kill, but he's still flanking in. And the second Secret then see the invis Lina mid, they know that Ramses is completely alone and that they need to go on him. They have to get a trade somewhere on the map, otherwise it's a completely lost fight for them. And really good call for them to dive for the kills, but BP similarly reacting. They TP in +1, they get the return.
Secret, 3 bounding rooms. I think it was it BP who got 3 of them last time? I can't remember.
I do not remember either.
Feels like both teams are making an effort to exert some map control about 20 seconds before those bounding rooms spawn. Nice aggressive wards, as is Solo's signature move.
Yeah, they seem to always just understand where their opponents are better than Secret understand where they are. Really good wards being placed, seeing them around in the jungle.
Oh, nice catch. That's a pretty common, I would say, defensive ward over the last 2 or 3 months to see some of these rotations into the Radiant jungle. And Solo, he's certainly done his homework.
See if Secret can make some more plays. They've got Moonlight Shadow back up again, which was what they managed to get some good Lina kills on earlier, but since those 2 deaths on no one, he has gone back to farming, found some more plays himself, and it really does feel like mid 1 on Ember needs some room to keep on farming.
Ramses also needs that room. We're going to see him play with the Dire Triangle, which is so common. They have super good vision, though. Right now, if you take a look at these wards, they have 4 different wards up, and Secret have just, what, 1 ward on the bottom lane? They got another one near top, actually.
Very big difference between the 2 teams. VP didn't have that much vision for a little while, and then suddenly, Solo smoke to get wards down, something you don't see all too often, but this stage of the game when you want to protect your farmers, particularly Medusa, who's kind of fallen behind, it's a very good idea to get the vision down as he's done.
And now they're going to have the Night Stalker advantage as well. Have the darkness. Oh, I guess we're heading into daytime.
Popping, I guess, keep Secret a little bit on the back foot. Not sure if he was actually trying to find a play there. And VP will smoke up mid. 2 supports with a level 6 on Bane.
Oh, they're going to be able to burst down Ramses. Looks like he got hit by an arrow into the Skywrath Mage ultimate. They're going to chase him down. Winter's Curse to interrupt the Night Stalker and reset up on him with the Blood Right. The big nuke of damage kills him before
his spells there. You are a little bit freer to go diving in. Very quick play from VP. They see, again, the rotation bottom lane. Ramses died. It's the same thing as we saw before, just the other team doing it. Last time it was Secret reacting to VP ganking. This time, VP see a kill, lose a hero bottom, and immediately jump on the mid lane for that kill. Once again, it's Solo also getting such great deep vision. Good use of these early smoke.
BP, a little bit tired of playing these pickoff games, are actually going to be rotating most of their team down to this bottom lane. Roger will play pretty far forward to break smokes, just like that one, protecting his team from a heavy rotation from Secret. Now they're still going to try and loop through the lane. Roger's going to spot them with the nighttime advantage that they have. And they actually catch out Ace with the nighttime vision of the Slardar as well. He's going to be gone up. The curse of Haze makes him so squishy, but they manage to get the save out of the Winter Wyvern. Managed to get the curse onto Roger. He's so low, but Ace, he actually gets cold embrace. He was trying to go for the kill onto the Night Stalker, but he will be saved. No nukes just yet. They still have the vision of him. Side Ramses is just challenging mid one right now with the corrosive haze on him. He can't deal with that physical damage. Solo keeps himself alive with the brain sap. Meanwhile, they do finally go for the dive onto the Ember Spirit. Couldn't get out with the remnants any longer. Solo slowly limping away, but Ramses and Pasha will cover his exit. 3 down on the side of Secret. All 3 cores too. And a 4th one.
Wow, yeah. Using this vision so well, the deep wards, the corrosive haze, enabling them to just land all their spells in these fights. Secret's like trying to play around the side lanes, the trees, trying to stay in fog, but you just can't do that when you've got wards behind towers. Everyone's getting amped up by the Slaughter, and that just allows heroes like, you know, Night Stalker to chase people through trees. Medusa would always be hitting them with the split shot. They didn't even have Stone Gaze for that fight, but Medusa on the front line proving just to be a little bit too tanky.
At least they do get the deny on that safe lane power, but if we... I'm not sure if we're going to see a replay from that last fight, but I felt like there was a lot of disjoint there between the different Secret members, right? There were so many misplays, I would think, that overlap spells like the Winter's Curse plus the Sky Elf. Nice Nightmare there from Solo, dodging the arrow, but unfortunately for him, Yapster was in the neighborhood, and his nukes are just a bit too much. Now, Ramses is a bit low, does have the double damage, as well as Pasha beside him, but Pasha is already taking the damage. Puppy's going to try and kite him around. Ramses will TP out. The nukes won't be able to catch him. Pasha trying to run away. Winter's Curse into an arrow. Arrow actually misses there, but they may still be able to pick up the kill if they can get instant damage, but they don't have anything, so he just jumps out of the Winter's Curse as soon as it fades.
Similar to the small little misplays you talked about last team fight, again we see it there with Secret. Not everyone on the same page about who's using what spells at what time, because that should be a straightforward Winter's Curse into arrow setup, but both Puppy and Fata use their spells at the same time, and the end result is the arrow misses, the Winter's Curse doesn't get the kill, and see here Secret finally addressing this big vision problem that VP has.
Roger, are you fast enough to be able to catch this courier? He flies into the base, but he's not faster than him. He's going to have to counter TP, but Murata might be able to land the arrow. No, the animation is just slightly too long.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I guess it was a good little trap. Somehow he knew that the shield had already been popped on the courier, but just didn't quite have a fast enough Night Stalker, I guess.
I love this ward from Soul. He just rewards the exact same spot that's dewarded. This is something I don't think enough supports do, because even if they put the sentry right where that ward is, you no longer get the ground vision for it. So it's very rare that teams will like recheck a spot they just dewarded 20 seconds later.
Yapster's been doing his homework as well. Managed to catch the ward behind the tier 1.
I have not seen Solo do this double ward play all that often though, so I don't think this ward will get dewarded anytime soon. It gets pinged. I think that looked like Roger pinging it out though.
Pasha did get spotted, I believe, in this top lane. Mid one cut down one of the trees. And I think he opened up that area enough to spot that Pasha TP'd in. So he's going to play pretty far down south here, away from that potential initiation.
Definitely a game where vision has proven to be key so far. Radiant Observer, Sentry Trap scouting out, no one moving around on a Shadow Blade. If he can find some pickoff with this, then you're looking at VP taking control, but so far Secret's done a pretty decent job of not letting him get too out of control. Problem just feels like that Secret aren't getting enough here in the early to mid game. This 10 to 20 minute stage I talked about, you need to be making moves around the Ember Spirit initiation. Problem is, mid one's Ember got destroyed. Seems like number 6, number 7 in net worth for a lot of this game.
No one got spotted, but unless mid, oh no, mid one didn't get off the sleight of fist. He hit Chains first.
He knew there was just a small little window. The Fire Remnant took too long to come in, and perhaps tried to slide a fist earlier during the Fire Remnant animation.
Moonlight Shadow, they back out of vision and push forward. Now there is that Dire Sentry there, so they will have some idea, and Ramses immediately starts backing out. Seeing that Ember Spirit is enough information to know that they're probably heading up to that top lane, trying to gank the Dusa once again.
They even pinged. It looked like Puppy coming out of Invis to plant the ward may have been slightly spotted there, so VP not interested in playing around the top lane for now. They're farming their jungle, they're pushing mid lane. They expect Secret to be up top with 3 ward.
I think this is the perfect response, right? Like, you know they headed up to the top lane. You immediately put pressure on mid, and it's very hard for Secret to double back and protect this tower now. So if they trade out tier 1s, especially this mid tower seems to be all important, VP do get a slight advantage just off that trade-off, as long as they don't get caught. But mid one is going to jump in with the smoke. Is going to be able to pencil Lina. Pasha comes in, manages to hit a big stun on the mid one. Saved by the cold embrace. The bounce back, Nightmare buys a little time for the Lina, but he's still silenced up. The Bloodright catches him as well, and finally he does go down. Soul is not making it anywhere. He got ruptured and brought down. Ramsey's still standing tall, and it looks like Secret do not want to fight into him here, knowing that he still has the Stone Gaze as well, and everyone feels a little bit low. Mid one, well, managed to get the air onto the Night Stalker with the Bloodright coming out with the chains, locking down these heroes. They're going to try and TP up. The Night Stalker goes down. Pasha dies as well. A TP away from Ramses is the only successful out for VP. They got cocky. They tried to take a 3 versus 5 next to a, or 3 versus 4 rather, next to a tier 2 tower, and completely lost that engagement.
Absolutely, and that was such a good fast move from Secret from top to mid. The tier 1 trade was not favorable for them, and I think partly because Secret recognizing, hey, we're in the worst end of this one. We gotta go make something happen here. Ember mid one's probably finally telling the team, all right, I'm gonna go initiate, because he is the one who has to start these fights, and he did such a good job just charging in, tanking these spells, and still being kept alive.
And Fada holding onto his arrow, waiting for the Yule Scepter. Yes. He knows that no one's going to use that, so he actually cancels the animation and preps it for the instant stun. Bottom lane, we do manage to catch up. Fada looks like they just went Shadowblade LSA kill onto Fada. That's going to happen.
I didn't see who it was, but someone also canceled the Fiend script, because Solo did like the perfect job. He did the Nightmare save into a grip on the Mirana. Mirana was about to kill Lina with the Starstorm, used the grip, kept them alive, but then instant
they're
cancel.
gonna run into each other. Puppey, he just got the Winter's Curse, but he already separated, so the Bloodright is gonna come out solo. Brain saps the neutral creep just to give himself some extra HP before he gets silenced. Pasha now thinking about blinking forward, going for the stun. Mid one instantly chains him. So no stun yet. Roger will not go up that high ground, and Winter's Curse actually placed out onto the Slardar. He's dangerously low here with the Splinter Blast coming in. Pasha, an extra nuke for the concussive shot as well, but they don't have the reach to be able to finish him off.
Does have a salve he's going to pop. They may want to re-engage here. Something does quite a lot of just buy this extra sustain, carry it around with you so you can just disengage and then re-engage right afterward. I feel like they can get so top. VP just feel to be playing a bit too fast. They're the lineup who has the Medusa. They also have the Slider to enable both Medusa and Lina in the late game. Their draft definitely scales better. With that said, Blood Rage Emperor, it's not saying to be scoffed in the late game, but with how well they shut down mid one, it does feel like VP aren't the ones who have to be making these aggressive maneuvers.
Now, Secret can change the game around because they're coming into some pretty important items, but you're absolutely right. They're going to have to hit that really good mid-game timing around that Radiant for the Bloodseeker. That's going to be his second item after the Blade Mail.
Mid one recognizing kind of his purpose in this game is rushing a Blink Dagger. Kind of want to go a defensive item against this draft, but there's no defensive item that's going to necessarily save you. You have to rely on Puppey making plays on his Riven to keep him alive. And if you don't have initiation, someone's going to go at mid one, taking one for the team.
And so he's literally just trusting that Fada and Ace can carry this game, because I think an Ember Spirit that goes this early Blink Dagger when he's already behind in net worth, he's behind the Slardar right now. I think you just pretty much never become a hero unless you get some dramatic change in net worth between these two teams.
Yeah, somehow you survive a team fight and you get a bunch of gold from it, but more than likely he does not scale well at all with this build. You kind of expect to see like a Maelstrom rush, but Barca playing the Cormorant, we've seen this hero, despite having like a 50-60% win rate at the tournament, it's one of the highest KDAs. It just seems to get involved in every single fight, always gets kills and assists. Never seems to like disappoint in terms of damage output when you go this Maelstrom build, and this game no exception. Fata as a 3 position feels like he is more of a core, and well, he is a core as an offlane, but feels like more as like the 1 or the 2, and with a BKB, he's definitely going to add even more to his team's damage output.
Dire are scanning.
We were kind of joking during the draft. We do have that level 20 talent for the Mirana, plus 25 mana break, which will give him, I guess, a small little advantage against the Mirana. Checks out the pit with the arrow, just to make sure VP hadn't snuck in there.
Be one of the worst level 20 talents in the game. You're listing Ice Frog?
Yeah. 12% spell land for a level 20.
For a hero that has very little magic damage.
Jump in, poking, and the chains will wear out in time for Pasha to dodge the arrow.
I like that Pasha's got a Yule's queued up. These kind of dispel save items for what VP are so good at playing around. A Lotus Orb could also be really decent, purging off the Seer and Kane. Just also some of these pesky silences like Skywrath ult may even protect you against the Winter's Curse.
Once again, we're seeing a combination that the Secret did not win the laning phase hard enough to be able to take over the game. And so they don't have great objective takers, so VP are just getting 3 towers at times. Deny from Pasha in that mid-tier 1 tower. The Moonlight Shadow up now already managed to get the silence, but a Winter's Curse will allow mid-1 to be able to disengage. Medusa pushing forward, they still managed to catch him. Pasha got the blink stun. Mid-1 could not make it. Oh, they got the extra hero, and that's perhaps even more important. Fada is going to have to leap away, but he still has a corrosive haze on him, and Pasha really wants to be able to chase him down. He is out of leap charges, and he's in the river right now, which means Lasarda, sprint just ran out. 5 seconds, though. You can just keep up the corrosive haze.
No escape from Fada. Very nicely done by VP. They had the sentry there already prepped to defend them from that Moonlight Shadow. They were actually grouping up there to smoke. That's like the worst case scenario for Secret. They're smoking, hoping to maybe find a pick or find VP split up, farming in different locations, but VP had 3-4 heroes there, just about to go for a gank of their own. They already had the sentry down, and they got the immediate jump. Another great Nightmare play. The arrow was flying through on the to hit the Winter's Curse target, but the Nightmare meant that it dodged. The arrow just went right through his body, and that just enabled the Night Stalker to just keep on chasing to help find those additional kills.
And this is why Fog was so adamant about Solo's Bane, right? He has had some great performances at this tournament and continues to do so in this game.
So few Bane players consistently utilize Nightmare assist. You may see it like once or twice as a clutch play, but it feels like Solo does it 5, 6, 7 times a game. It's a hero that's not really talked about as a save. That's normally like the Dazzle, the Oracle, Tusk, but Solo's hands Bane is on par with those other heroes.
Yeah, it's like I don't really see him miss the saves, you know? Like I rarely see him mistime the Nightmare or something like that.
Already seen it now like twice this game, make a kind of clutch play with it. That team fight with the arrow and the previous one on the Mirana as well.
Solo just dives inside the Roshan pit, just check things out. Now mid-1 spots him for a moment. Pasha setting up. Gonna go for the stun onto the Ember Spirit, or he's just gonna try and back out and then give the force over to Solo. Now he's still tucked in the river, and they're just gonna pop him from afar here with the Skywrath Mage Mystic Flare.
Even in death, VP look so talented. He gets the brain sap off, like, and then Medusa's waiting till he's facing the right direction to get him to force stuff down. He's like, okay, I'm not going to force you now. I'm going to let you heal a little bit, then I'll force you away. And very well coordinated as they lose a 5 position hero. Not a big kill for Secret, who won't turn it into any kind of objective. Medusa just continuing to farm. The Skadi plus level 20 Talon is where she starts to look pretty unkillable, but she's not there yet, and Secret, as a result, wanted to kill her in this top lane.
They have that Radiant too for Ace. They feel, relatively speaking, strong. Even if they're still down 7k to VP, I don't think he's going to have a much better shot being able to win team fights. Arrow comes out, trying to spot behind that tower, doesn't actually hit anything. And all of VP are coming in now. Mid-1 still hidden inside the trees. Always
just
setting himself up.
He doesn't care if he dies here. He knows his team. He's not going to lose. They're not going to lose a fight because he died.
Nightmare dodged Blood Right, Force Staff to dodge everything else. And you're right. He's okay with being initiated on. If he's got the saving mechanisms, even if he dies, he's a 5 position. No one. He's not actually showing himself. He could have used that time, showing all those heroes in the top lane, go, all right, guys, I'm going to hit mid. I'm pushing into their tier 2. But he's currently trying to set up a trap, expecting Secret to back out from that positioning that they have in top lane. It's just not the case. Secret is continuing to stick around and are going to try and keep up the 5-man into this tier 2.
Yeah, I feel like so many teams that works against. VP showed 3-4 heroes top, and then they'll be like, okay, we can't push. Let's go push out bottom and mid. 2 heroes go bottom, 1 goes mid, 1 goes to the jungle, and no one does find a pick off there. But Secret adamant they want to keep pressuring this top lane. They really want to force a fight. They know they're falling further and further behind. They don't see the gold difference, but they can see the level difference. Level 20 Lina, level 19 Medusa, and their cores are all level 14 or 15.
And sure enough, Ember Spirit does back out to push out that mid lane. It was hitting the tier 2, and it's exactly what no one was hoping for, especially with the double damage. Hit the LSA, and it should be enough damage. 1, 2, 3, 4. Those double damage shots make short work of the Ember Spirit.
Yeah, he almost messed up the stun at first because of the blink forward, but quick animation cancel, and he still hits it. Now with Corrosive Haze, so easy to turn this into a Roche play. Secret though with Arrow.
So Roger, this time it's his turn to just YOLO win. He's gonna get ruptured up, drops dangerously low, but they do finally manage to finish up that Aegis. Here comes the arrow. Roger will sidestep that one, but he can't stop the Blood Right. He's just one shot away. And Skywrath Mage will take that kill once again.
Roger's like, okay, if you'll throw all that at me, fine, fine. They understood, to get this Roche, you may have to throw a body. The only way that Roche goes poorly for them is if Winter Wyvern is allowed to walk up, somehow get in range at the pit, fly on over with an Arctic Burn and drop a Winter's Curse on 2 or 3 heroes. Lina hitting someone, a teammate with that double damage would have been catastrophic, but BP understanding that, they put Solo on the high ground by the Ancients. He dies. Okay, now it's Roger's turn. He goes up there. He's a bit tankier than Solo and buys the time needed for the DD Lina to finish off Rogue.
And now that you've got an Aegis on a Dusa, it's like 5-minute window that Secret will not feel comfortable dealing with him one way or another. Maybe they don't want to take team fights as a result. Maybe when Ramses aggressively pushes down a lane, they're like, guys, are we really going to gank a Dusa with an Aegis? That just sounds like disaster in the making.
Yeah, so many of these games are around like the BKB timings, and Secret's BKBs are still not online. So this Aegis is going to mean, well, even when you get those BKBs, if there's still an Aegis on Dusa, you're looking at even later. It's typically like 25 to 30-minute BKBs where you group up, you fight, Aegis or no Aegis, but right now, like, the Bloodseeker BKB is coming pretty slow because you got Blade Mail Radiance first, and Mirana's is just only now online as well.
Oh boy, this is a questionable one. They managed to get the Fiend's Grip on Fada. Winter's Curse stops it, slows down some of these heroes. They pop the Shrine somehow. Fada managed to get away for now. Virtus Pro, though, they sense weakness. They're just going to keep pushing forward. Pasha has another initiation ready to go. Puppy pops the brace on himself. He wants on sword, trying to stop the initiation for Pasha. They get the Rupture down. Bane is going to drop from Skywrath Mage's ultimate, but Ramsey is still fine for fighting these heroes. And Pasha, they managed to get the Ult Scepter onto the Bloodseeker during that Blade Bell timing. Now popping the Stone Gate, slowing down these heroes. They do manage to kill the Starter into the trees. They go with Corrosive Haze on them. They just can't actually get out. They're going to die eventually. Back down underneath their tier 2 with no escape available. And they just keep running up the remaining support Yapsters. All that left. Team Secret.
The fight you talked about, into an Aegis, you just shouldn't feel safe doing that, but at the same time, Secret understand their lineup is falling further and further behind. They try and force something. They know they're at their Shrine. They still have the Shrine active, as well as potential TPs in, so they bring their entire team trying to go all out, but because of the trickle in factor, BP is able just to pick them apart one by one. Medusa ulti's there at the end to deal with the Mirana as well. And even with the BKB, Mirana just could not carry that fight by herself.
Yeah, I mean, Ramsey's just hit such a big spike, too. I'm sure they didn't know that, but he just picked up level 20 and Scotty. Like, that's a monstrous boost in just overall effective HP for this Dusa. So it was by far the worst time for Secret to finally just go, screw it, let's go for a fight.
Yeah, and it's so tricky for these Secret heroes, whether any of their cores to play Dota in these fights. They've got one BKB now, but they're just getting constantly disabled, hit by these crashes. Pasha has just been so good on flat.
Look at Midwan trying to get away. Can't even jump to his Remnant right now. He's caught, pops BKB, feed stripped out. Winter's Curse. Oh, that's a big one, actually. Laying it to the Night Stalker, and Ace will have a lot of low HP to go for it. Bane's backline does get away. Ult Scepter onto the Bloodseeker once again. Follow up with the LSA, and they're just killing all this mobility of the Bloodseeker bit by bit. He's going to be slowed down by the Scotty as well. Another LSA to follow up the Cold Embrace. A TP out from the Winter Wyvern is successful, but again, it is another easily won team fight for Virtus Pro.
Able to outlast and just constantly chuck out spells on very short cooldown. Slaughter Crush having an 8-second cooldown. It feels like Pasha's getting 2 or 3 off the fight.
Okay, don't even lead with Crush, Pasha. Just lead with a guaranteed right-click bash.
And that will look to secure them this bottom lane. Ramsey's happy to wait to throw away his life, knowing that there's only about 40 seconds left on the Aegis, and you'd rather lose it now than wait and lose it in the middle of a team fight. Bottom lag secured. BP can back off and fight another day.
What would you say went wrong for this lineup of Secret, right? Like, we're never supposed to be judging it at 33 minutes when it has a Scotty and everything else. Like, what would you say they didn't just quite accomplish? Was it the laning phase that didn't go well enough for them? Was it that 15-minute window?
I would boil it down to their key playmaker and their initiating hero has a bad laning game. Mid one is like doubled up by the DP cores. If there's one player that needs to have a good game this game, I would say it's mid one because he's the initiator and the playmaker. He's also core hero. With all those things combined, he has a terrible laning stage. I don't know how you play the mid game as Secret because your Bloodseeker can't just go running and he's going to feed to a hero like Lina until you have a BKB. I feel like they could have perhaps adjusted and rushed BKBs earlier because that's how you know, make up for not having a key initiator. Your core, like a Bloodseeker, just charges in BKB and doesn't care. But they needed to somehow give mid one a better lane, but I don't know if that exists once that Lina gets picked up mid and they're the off lane. The off lane for VP is a Night Stalker, the in lane like that. There's bad lanes wherever you go as an Ember.
Yeah, maybe the third pick Bloodseeker revealing that that basic lane setup, right? They couldn't really get out of it once they had Bloodseeker and Ember Spirit.
Yeah,
on the same team.
It's a very early Ember pick. Like they first 2'd it when VP had 4 counter picks, so they punished that by just picking strong laning heroes. There's no lane Ember can go to and have a good time when you've got a Night Stalker slider lane, a Lina mid, perhaps a Medusa lane, but even that, like, you're just going to get Mystic Snaked, and then you're giving Medusa. Secret chose to pressure the Medusa's lane, but the thing is, VP Medusa, this is a hero that catches up, doesn't have to have a good start because you're not the key mid-game hero. For VP, the mid-game heroes is like Slider, Night Stalker, Lina. They're not all in on one hero to make plays for them.
That's the beauty of this Lina right now. Such a strong hero, and that I feel like it's actually going to be a better carry than almost any of the heroes on Team Secret. I think it like beats out like the Bloodseeker and the Mirana and the Ember Spirit potentially, and then it could also just go around hunting like this and make the Ember Spirit's life hell. A bad laning phase combined with a Lina Shadowblade, it feels like you're never going to actually get the farm you need to be a true core.
Lina's got some level 25 mega attack range, something that always feels pretty decent, but it's going to feel even better with the Slider corrosive pace because you maintain vision. So many of these fights in that bottom lane, we saw Secret retreating into the trees, but they're still just getting right-clicked away by Medusa and Lina because of that vision aspect.
And you can stand next to the powerhouse that is Medusa. She pops Stone Gaze. You're both just sitting in the back, right-clicking a bunch of people, and they can't fight into you.
Been the other beautiful part about this VP draft coming together has been that vision aspect, and I'd say partly aggressive. What went wrong is the vision game. VP were able to find all these pickoffs, control the mid game because they had superior vision.
Yeah, we talked about like the 4 awards that VP had placed down, and probably a very key timing for a Secret's lineup to go out and get kills. And well, it's going to be VP who are going to get another kill. Potentially, they actually were a little bit afraid of going on Ace there, not knowing how many heroes were behind him. It's a lot of opportunity with the Winter Wyvern to turn this.
Harassing the Ember's farm there, but yeah, this Ember is going to have an Aeon Disc coming up soon. This item doesn't really change the game too much. Does mean he doesn't get bursted, but there's not enough damage output that staying alive matters. The game we saw where Secret got that like triple, quadruple Aeon Disc against the against VC Gaming was like, you know, VC Gaming had this big throw everything at you, burst you down, and then win the team fight off of that. VP's draft is built to have these long, drawn-out team fights. That's what Medusa. That's Medusa in a nutshell. So staying alive with an Aeon Disc doesn't really win you a fight here if you're mid one.
Look at them, they're just baiting mid one as much as possible, hoping that they can get an exemplary Cold Embrace, Winter's Curse combo play. But VP, they rush, chill out, get Roshan. That's going to be Aegis, Cheese, and an Ember Spirit.
Yep. Find some picks here if Secret aren't careful. Like they'll walk into some creeps here. Bang. Oh, Fata.
Trying to take the fight here solo. Silence onto Pasha, stopping the initiator. That always helps, but that big nuke comes out on Fata. He is able to leap away until Ramsey slows him down a little bit more. That last shot wasn't going to be good enough. He has Rupture on him, so he gets up on the chase there. So he do manage to get the Yule Scepter from Pasha once again, stopping these TPs. Puppey will die a very slow and agonizing death, stalled out by that Aeon Disc.
Gives away his gem as well. Very tough stuff for him. No one at bottom lane.
And no, it just doesn't stop, man. Look at this guy.
He's expecting someone to pop up. He sees that radiance effect.
Oh, at the last second of his Shadow Blade, he still cancels his animation. Does manage to catch Ace, but Ace is healing off the creeps. And now no one. Blood right TP out already.
Cheeky little play from no one, going for the kill there, but unable. Didn't have the damage, didn't have Laguna. Now buys his Crystallis, so next time. Classic VP aggression, though. May mean they don't get a lane of racks off of that team fight, but ultimately not the biggest deal for them because they've still got their hands on an Aegis, and they're going to be very quick to regroup and refight once again. They're not relying on any long cooldown. They are always ready to go.
I think that's one of the big advantages, though. Once you become such a dominant team, you play with so much confidence and belief in your teammate. Like, no one can make those kind of plays, right? He fully believes that his allies can take the 4 versus 5 at top lane. See? He sees they start getting out, he immediately boosts down to bottom lane.
Yeah.
Sets up for that extra kill.
Yeah, so many times I feel like you cast like a team that's, you know, not like a VP level, and you see that play, and then the rest of the team will overcommit top lane in a 4v5 scenario, and we're like, oh, why'd they fight 4v5? You know, their Corlina was bottom lane, and they're not on the same page, but it just feels like VP fully understand how to take those smaller skirmishes.
Trying to work on Manta now, Bloodseeker. None of these items are really game changers. Meanwhile, Virtus Pro, they're about to hit level 25 on their DOTA, and then you're going to have the Daedalus for no one's Lina. So both those two cores are just going to turn into incredible damage dealers.
Very, very scary for Secret, who are stuck in their own base. Late game, Dota, when you're behind 20k plus net worth against a Night Stalker, you just will not get vision anywhere on the map. You have to have a gem and play around, like, deny any enemy vision outside your base, but Puppy, who just bought one, instantly loses it, so instead now you have to buy, like, 3, 4, 5 sentries. That's the best.
They will catch Pasha. Puts Fuel Scepter on himself, dodging actually the arrow. Maybe. No, he's going to be slowed down too much. Couldn't get the sprint off in time. He just got instant silent.
They're getting better at playing around the VP Yuleses and stuff, but it's a little bit too late. Yeah, it's so big right now, but you get whatever kills you can get.
Well, maybe if we get to level 25 gods, we can get the Mirana Moonlight Shadow cooldown. They can play for those kind of pickoffs just non-stop.
Yep, that's where VP will be forced to 5 men a bit more. But hey, VP probably don't mind that because
they have a vision hero. They have a Night Stalker Axe Gem. What is Moonlight Shadow to them? They don't care.
Be a direct counter to any around a level 25. The Secret just buy themselves some time, which is what you're looking to do. With that pick like that, it may just keep your another lane of racks alive against the Aegis to do stuff.
LSA lands onto the Winter Wyvern. Puppy saved by the Aeon Disc. What a greedy play, by the way, from Solo. He went with a Brain Sap. They had a Nightmare on Ember Spirit, completely isolated. Okay. Oh, maybe he needed to pop. That's why. He needed to pop the Aeon Disc and still get Fiend's Grip off after that. That's why. I was like, why didn't he just Fiend's Grip right away? Well, would have been canceled.
Yep. Unlike Fuel or something, the disable gets turned off by the...
Look at Ramsey. He's like, let's just go to high ground, see what happens. And sure enough, all the Secret have to back away. And this is an Aegis Dusa with a BKB lying in her backpack.
He wants to die. He's like, I got 20 seconds of this. Please, somebody kill me. But now that he's not dying, he's like, all right, I guess I got to just wait in this Aegis to expire.
Death will have to wait.
They just see VP wait, keep on securing bounty runes, wait for like a double damage or something. Seen this bottle being passed back and forth a bit between the Lina and the Medusa, so potential for this to be the game-winning moment with like a double damage. But they
initiation onto the Wyvern. This time no Aeon Disc to be able to save. Big one tries to counter-initiate, grabbing some of these heroes. BKB activated. LSA doesn't actually land. He jumps away to his Remnant. Pasha is super low from the Rupture. The arrow's going to come out. Spots at last second. Sleep also going down. Both saved him from the arrow. Mid one's just going to keep on trying to poke at him, but he can't get too close to this Ramses Medusa.
Double salve on him there, just in his backpack. He brings it in to heal himself back up so they can keep on staying on the enemy side of the map. Doesn't have to back off to heal up. KB's queued up as his next item, and that's when Secret can't find these kills on him. He's been one of the few targets they can initiate on and bring down without the BKB, but no longer be the case.
Virtus Pro seem to be respecting their opponents. They're not trying to close it out too quickly. They wait for their data list. Wonder if they're even going to wait for another Roshan by chance, because it just feels like they're just solidifying their win more and more as time goes on.
Yeah, absolutely. And if your opponents are staying in this game when you feel like you've got the better late game, you've secured this game, you have this monster lead, but they're not tapping out, they're doing everything they can to stall out the high ground push. That's where you say, well, they're gonna play to the bitter end, so are we. We're gonna wait out that next Roshan, wait for that DK Splatter, wait for that final Styx item on the Arena or Medusa, and then you go.
Also, I don't know how much it really matters the mentality, but I know if I'm Virtus Pro, I'm enjoying this game one stalling out a lot more than Secret. We've all been in this position where you're locked inside your base for 10, 15, 20 minutes at a time. It sucks. They're going to try and go on a Night Stalker. He scouts them out, easily jumps over to the cliff, arrow in the back line, not going to land on Solo. VP just, again, they keep Secret from being able to finally push out, get some sort of team initiation. They're going to try and make a play of themselves, maybe try and blow up Ace. Ace does not get hit by that. In fact, he turns around and gets a rupture on a Pasha. Now Pasha has to run out of blood, right? Buys himself a little bit more time. No one trying to turn, actually finish off Ace. That was so much damage. Oh, they do manage to kill the Bane, but a force zap up into the high ground. Ramses immediately pops his Manta, though, as he sees that buyback from the Bloodseeker and gets out.
The Winter's Curse killing the Bane, but not the end of the world. Some Medusa Illusion's going to play the top lane, but ultimately, BP force a core buyback. They lose Bane. It is pretty damn nice for them, the position they're in, where even not the perfect team fight, doesn't matter. They get 4 bounty runes out of this. Big chunk of gold going their way. Very happy to, again, wait for this next Roshan, just utilize their vision advantage. The fact Night Stalker has an Ags and a gem there means when Secret smoked out to make that play, they were Moonlight Shadow. The second their smoke popped, he sees them instantly. Normally, like a smoke pops at nighttime or something, and you still have a chance to initiate, but Roger is the king of the night and instantly flew away, even with Secret's kind of team.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he knew that was a global concussive shot or not, but he sees that shot and he's just like, oh, I gotta get out of here. They might be running at me. And sure enough, they are. The smoke up from Secret. Arrow not gonna land on Pasha. 3 matched up by him with the LSA to follow it up. That's a beauty! Ramsey's gonna be able to get all these split shots in. First is gonna be the Ember Spirit down. Now Fada has to jump over to the other side of the Roshan pit. Pasha's quite low. Once again with the Winter's Curse, that'll finish him off. But Ramsey, after killing his teammate, will kill some Secret heroes. They catch Fada as well as the Winter Wyvern. Give away some tips as well. Secret are gonna be left without a buyback on their Ember Spirit and their Wyvern, and they're gonna be forced to use their Murata buyback if they want to have a chance at holding 3 versus 4.
Big creep wave, double siege wagon in the top lane. They are easily going to bring down this tier 3 tower, and the racks probably as well. I just don't see them defending. Without the Winter's Curse, without Ember Spirit, it just feels all over for Secret now.
39,000 gold lead, and we're reaching that final fight. Yapster's already gone. Ace is at half HP. Way, the Murata's going to be caught, slept up into an LSA. Now the Fiend's Grip onto Ace, and that'll be it. All she wrote for game number 1. VP, they certainly came to play today, God. They're looking like a team that could easily just go 2-0 in both their series.
Very dominant VP performance, but from the start, it just felt like Secret didn't have the best laning stage where it mattered. Like, they were close to even on gold in that first 10-ish minutes, but Ember was miles behind. It was the Mirana having a good game, and Fata Mirana definitely a hero that can kind of scale and carry you, but you need other heroes to work around them, and Ember Spirit was just not having a game whatsoever, and VP really punished that back.
I mean, with clean play like that, I'm not going to ask you what should VP do for next